I'm so happy. I have with me today Wani mangoes, or two Wanis. Wanis? I'm not sure how to do the plural of Wani, but I have Wani, guys. And what this is a different species of mango that I've been wanting to try for a really long time. I believe the scientific name for regular mangoes is Mangifera indica. These are Mangifera Caesia? I'm putting these on the screen. I don't know how to pronounce scientific names very well, clearly, but I do know that these are supposed to be very different than typical mangoes. And I'm going to cut into them in a second, but first let's just walk down the lane of different mango species out there that I have had so far. I've got a lot of experience trying Mangifera indica. There's so many different cultivars of regular mangoes. So when you go to the store and you see different mangoes, those are all Mangifera indica. It's very difficult to find anything that is not that species. There's also something I had called a Wani mango, which is Mangifera odorata, I believe, and it's called that because the tree smells funny. And that one tasted like a mango omelet. It had a very sulfuric taste to it. I also had something called the Bambangan, which is Mangifera pajan, and that one is like big round bowling ball of a potato, and it's like very sour, very funky, very oniony, very, very different than regular mangoes. So because of that, I am really curious to find out what these taste like. I've heard that they taste very different, but I don't really know what they taste like. Also, there are different varieties of Wani. That's why these two here look very different from each other. I was told that these are different cultivars of Wani. So like you can have an Alfonso mango and a Tommy Atkins mango, you can also have different types of Wani. The larger one here, this is like russeted on the outside, like potato-like. One fun thing to point out about this is that I bought two of these big ones, and one of them, I'm not going to show it to you because it's gross, but it kind of like exploded into worms. That's a nice image, right? Yeah, it did that. This one didn't. So I'm hoping that when I cut this open, it's not going to be full of surprises. This one here, very smooth, not russeted at all. Well, actually a little bit on the bottom, a little bit there. So I wonder if maybe in time it might develop more russeting. And it's like green mostly with a little bit of a pink hue to it. All right, I can't wait anymore, guys. I want to cut these open. So let's start with the one that is less likely going to be full of worms. And I guess I'm going to cut it just like a regular mango. Which way is the seed going? Probably here. Nope. I'm totally wrong. Look at that. It's pure white inside and like really, really juicy. It looks more like an annona fruit on the inside. Pure white. Like cherimoya, not like a mango. Wild. I want to say it's juicy, but it's actually more like milky because the liquid is white. Wild. I wonder if it's going to have a creamy taste. All right, let's try it. That's delicious. That's really good. That is very, 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 very good. Oh, I've heard these were good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I've got a pretty high bar. I've had a lot of fruit, guys, but oh my god, this is really, really good. How am I going to describe this? It's very unique. It's not like a mango. Not really. I mean, it's got elements of like a regular Mangifera indica, mango, but there's so much going on with this. Okay, so many things. Okay, sweetness is high. 8. 8 out of 10. Tartness is not that high, but it definitely has a bite to it. It's maybe like 4 out of 10. Not as tart as like an orange, but there is tartness to it. And it is like the tartness of a mango. The flavor is hard to describe. This is not an easy one. And I can relate it to other sorts of fruits, but those ones are not especially easy to describe either. Like, not everybody has had soursop, but it tastes kind of like soursop. And soursop is like little hints of several tropical fruits, little hint of banana, little hint of coconut, little hint of pineapple, maybe. The initial taste is more like an annona fruit, and then the aftertaste is a little bit more like having like the aftertaste of a very sweet mango. It does kind of have an element to it that is creamy without being rich. Yeah, it's like skim milk with maybe a bit of like strawberry. Soursop, sweet mango, pear, Nesquik with skim milk. That is the best I can do. It's so good. That's really, really good. And I have another one. So let's try a different variety. Let's try the more russeted one. All right, wish me luck. No worms, please. Yeah, I'm totally butchering the correct side. It's supposed to, I think the seed goes this way. It's okay. No worms. Hey! Today is a happy day. Or actually, the seed in this is, you know what it is? I thought I was cutting it wrong because I'm hitting the seed when I go this way. So I thought the seed was going the opposite way of what I was doing. But actually the seed in here is just really big. It's here. When I cut this side, I'm hitting it again. So I think the flesh around it, there's not a lot of flesh. It's mostly a big seed in there, which is a little bit like the bambangan. It was like that. Let's see if it's any different. Oh, well, it's more difficult to get the fruit off the peel. These are different fruits. I like the other one better, but this is good. It's just, it is very different. It is, okay. It is even more complicated, but I say less tart, more stringy. The tartness is like 1 less on the scale. The sweetness, also less, maybe 2 less on the scale. The flavor, though, it's got a little funk to it. It's got the funk of Cempedak. I say it does have the other flavors from the smaller one, but in different amounts. You know, there is like a little bit of pear in there. There's a little bit of annona in there. There's a little mango in there, common mango. A little bit of like this milky strawberry kind of note, but also Cempedak. And Cempedak, because I know people don't like it when I relate one rare fruit with another rare fruit, it's got like a little bit of like a fruity cereal taste and a little bit of a funk to it, like a funky jackfruit kind of taste. I am a little hesitant to eat a lot of this because the other one had worms in it. But just taking a few bites, I can tell it's definitely different. Unless that's the flavor of worms, guys. Maybe that's the flavor of worms, but I don't think so. I think that these two have quite different flavors to them, and I think I like the smaller one better. And presumably there are many other types of Wani out there. So I would say if you see it for sale, maybe pick up a few different ones from different vendors and have a little taste test yourself, because I would not say that this one is anywhere near my favorite mango, but this one, absolutely. It might have something to do with like how fresh it is, you know, how worm infested it is. I don't know. But with the ones that I have here, that is definitely the experience that I'm having. The Wani mango is incredibly delicious. And this, by the way, I bought in Bali. So if you go to Bali in Indonesia, keep an eye out for it, because when they are in season, they are quite easy to find. It's a very popular thing there. I think the season is kind of short. But if you go there during the right time, you can find it. The Wani is something that I've been wanting to try for a very long time. I have looked for it extensively. So we found something that we've been really looking for, the Wani.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they are not ready. Rock hard still. Rock hard. It's not gonna be how it should, but I'm still gonna eat some of it because this is a very rare thing to have, and you can eat unripe mangoes. A little slice here. Well, doesn't taste ripe, but it's not much of a surprise. The flavor of this is still pretty different than a green mango, because there's no tartness to it. It feels like I'm biting into a raw water chestnut. Crunchy, almost flavorless. The season here is early March, and I'm here in late March, so I just missed it. So this time I passed through Bali again, and I managed, after all that trouble, to find it, and it has lived up to its name. It was worth the trouble in tracking it down, difficult as it may have been. So I'm happy. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm sorry that I can't give you some. I wish I could, because it is really good. This is definitely one that I want other people to try. So if you have the opportunity, go and find it. Wanis are good. See you next time. I would like to give a very big thank you to YouTube channel Just Another Normal Kitchen. They recently became a super patron over on patreon.com, and Patreon is how I afford to do all the things that I do on this channel, so it's a huge help. Thank you very much. Also, a big thank you to mega patrons Smarter Every Day, Bill T, and Joseph McCorkle.